Oh, and welcome to the Spiral Dimension. I'm Doctor Von Hoot, and this is the Parliament of Mowls. But first, what's it look like? Leather pants. I whipped them up in the sewing room for me.
Oh, short and sweet.
Don't you think that's kind of weird? Not weird, but like exciting weird.
Another one.
Oh boy, Higgins hitting us with his DJ Khaled impression. Nice.
Who?
Exciting weird it is.
And with that, I now declare this episode of Parliament open.
You all right?
I don't think there's enough owls.
How's it going, everyone?
Going good.
Good.
Ducky.
So we've got Tony, we've got Vogs for the first time,
Yeah.
Hello,
Dead Man,
everybody.
and Cliff. How is everybody?
Great.
Tired from work, but excited.
Everybody
to be on
sounds
for the
really
first time.
excited.
Totally tubular, dude.
Yeah, man.
Listen,
Cowabunga, dude.
listen. I am so high and so low at the same time.
You're in the middle. You're
No,
in
you can't be
purgatory.
in the middle. I can't be in the middle. I'm all over the freaking place, you know?
Oh,
I got-
that AOK, yes.
I got an amazing AOK and so amazing and so exciting, and my heart is so full, so very full, right?
Cool.
And
Hang on. Let's get you up in the big screen for that, because that's very cool. Oh, I always do that. It's the wrong buttons.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's so dope. It's really cool.
fantastic. Now, so full that I am, but as soon as I was done with the morning show, I go upstairs and my refrigerator is dead.
Another one.
Oh boy, Higgins hitting us with his DJ Khaled impression. Nice.
Who? Mr. Fast X himself.
Hola,
How you doing, Rob?
I am Ducky.
Tremendous.
Ducky.
Ducky.
Just Ducky. That's what I like to hear. It's been a while since I've heard that.
Yeah, I thought I'd throw that one out just for you.
Tremendous.
I was in a foul mood.
I
Right, so-
approve of that joke.
Only Slabs was funny.
Yeah, it was.
was great. Tony was a wonderful guest, and what's the word I'm looking for? Where someone just seems a little bit like overwhelmed and confused.
Overwhelmed. That's words for it, I suppose.
It was something, all right. Yeah.
I kept telling him, I'm like, don't worry, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And he's, he had a couple of drinks beforehand to loosen up. And then,
I could tell.
And then he got almost no one's name right for the rest of the show.
Justin from Legion of Comics.
Justin from Legion of Comics. This is autographed by Rob Thomas. It was,
The singer Rob Thomas.
yeah.
He's a nice guy, though. That was a
He's
really fun
wonderful.
show. He has great books, and it was very, very funny.
It was very funny, yes.
To
And
be
he had
fair.
all those slabs that just came back from CBCS at the end. I thought it was great.
Yep.
Right, we've
Hey,
got to
it's
say hello
what
to the
I
chat.
should do.
It's got to happen. Las Cruces. Whoa. As always. I mean, is he never not the guy? Shop for Comics. The man, the legend. I love this man. I love that man. That AOK blew my mind.
Oh, it was
Wow.
amazing. I
That
love
was
the
awesome.
reaction from you and Badger.
It was very cool. And then Omnipresent, as Chris would say.
Yes.
Another man that I love.
Oh.
I love a lot of dudes.
Dude Love is great.
Yeah, Dude Love is great.
What a
Who's another one?
wrestler.
Oh, yeah. Trev the Shipping Guru. You just want me to say that I love you, Cliff, don't you? Like that's the.
I
That
know
guy.
you
This
love
guy
me.
too.
You love me. It's okay.
Yeah, but there, excuse me, Von Hoot, if you truly wanted to say I love you, all you have to do is say I know.
Ditto.
Ditto.
Rightio. So, what watch you with your eyeballs this week?
Did we open Parliament? Did I miss it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we did that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Sorry, my bad.
There was a,
No. It's my bad.
There was
for
a
being late.
complaint. There wasn't enough owls.
Yeah.
Well,
It wasn't
that seems
enough
like a fair
hours.
cop.
So, what watch you with your eyeballs? Let's start with Cliff because you are in the top left-hand corner of my screen.
This week I watched the news. I watched 5 episodes of the new season of The Umbrella Academy.
I've never seen any of that. Is it worth? Like, is it just good or is it great? Because if it's great, I really should get on it.
No, it's very good. I enjoy it very much, but I'm also self-aware of the fact that I enjoy it very much, which I don't know what that means for other people. You know, it's kind of like when me and my 3 other online buddies are like, "But we love the Marvels," and then everyone else looks at us like we're from Planet X. It's just one of those moments, you know. But I very much enjoy it. You know, the plot is always a little bit. Actually, no, the plot is always timey-wimey, and the world is in peril. So there's just no avoiding that. And this is supposed to be the final season, and they're really playing up the world is in peril and the timey-wiminess of it all. But I'm having a good time, you know. And Elliot Page gets top billing this season, so that's fun for me. And you know, but they're actually very good. So
Brilliant.
there is that.
Well, I keep seeing it on my Netflix scroll and being like, I should probably watch that, but then never seem to get around to it. Okay. Anybody else seen it? Just out of curiosity.
I only watched the first season.
And it was all right.
Yeah, it was fine. I enjoyed it. I just didn't enjoy it enough when I came back and said, "Oh my god, I have to watch these other seasons." It's just
Yeah.
been there and like in my mental queue of going, yeah, someday I'll get back around to that.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Tony, what watch you with your eyeballs?
Not a lot. I watched about half of Monday Night Raw. I just got my Hulu back, so I'm still trying to get caught up on my wrestling. A couple of days ago, because I like to remind myself every year that my childhood is dead. So a couple of years ago, I watched Transformers the movie for the 38th anniversary of its release. And then shortly before the show today, I was watching Only Slabs and Godzilla -1 on the TV at the same time. So I might go back and rewatch it with the wife because I was tuning in and out, but I enjoyed the hell out of it. It's probably my favorite Godzilla movie so far.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it is my favorite Godzilla movie. It's better than it has any right to be, if you ask me.
Exactly.
Like managing to pull off a film that sort of dramatic at the same time as being about a goofy giant lizard is, you know,
And
it's pretty remarkable.
it didn't have a big budget, did it?
No, it was something. It was something like they said it was about 15 million, but the director went on record and said that like if he would have loved to have had that sort of money. So
Yeah.
who knows how much it actually was? But
It's nice.
They
It was really
did
nice.
a hell of a job.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. It gets 5 hoots out of 5.
Wow.
Mm.
I really love it because it's the first Godzilla movie I've watched where I care. There's a human story and I care.
Yeah.
It's remarkable.
Yeah. The pilot story was pretty awesome.
Yeah. So you haven't finished it yet?
No, I haven't finished it. I still got 45 minutes left, but I think I'm just
tremendous.
gonna.
Well, you're in for luck. You've got
My
half
wife
a
was,
movie to watch.
I was gonna say, my wife was like, you could have watched that tonight with me, and I was like, well, okay. So tonight, after I get back from Mom's, we'll probably sit down and I'll just rewatch it from the beginning with her.
Are you watching the the color version or the black and white version?
It's the color version. That's what Netflix has. But I've already decided I got to buy it.
They've
I
added the
gotta
black and
buy
white
it.
They
one.
have both. They have both.
Oh, they have both?
They put both of them on now. Yeah.
Well, I'll watch the black and white one later on. I don't think my wife will want me to watch the color one. I mean, the black and white one. I mean,
Is it on DVD yet, or is it just streaming?
No, it's not.
Oh, no.
It's out in Japan on DVD and Blu-ray, but not anywhere else yet. So
I got to buy it.
Time.
I got to get it.
Yeah, as soon as it comes out, I will be all over that. We've got some other faces. Brian LCS. That reminds me, I always forget to say, it's the last day to nominate on the CBCAs. So get your nominations in.
I don't
Always a
even
pleasure,
know. I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm like, people just vote where you want. But I will tell you this: the other night I'm going to give you the short version. I woke up in pain at 2:45 in the morning the other night. A lot of things happened, but one of the things that happened was me watching a late night stream with a whole bunch of people working on their nominations, and I wasn't mentioned not even once.
I was just going to say thank you to whoever it was that voted for put me in the nomination.
It was like, he got an award last year. It's fine.
I've got to shout out Evil Mike. You're the man. And okay, dokie. Vogger, what watch you with your eyeballs?
I've been working so much, so I haven't really gotten to watch much TV, but I've been watching the Olympics. I'm a big summer and winter Olympic fan. I've watched track and field, I've watched swimming. I was watching the men's basketball gold medal game. I think they're up on France. It should be like the fourth quarter right now. What else have I been watching? Nothing really. I know this sounds crazy, but I never saw Deadpool 2, so I just got Netflix for my TV, so I'm gonna go watch it one of these days when I'm not working.
I don't think that's on Netflix, is it?
If
Like,
it's
isn't
not,
that
then I'll
only-
have to find a bootleg version.
Isn't it only on Disney Plus these days? Don't they?
Probably somehow.
What's that?
Deadpool 2 you can get on DVD.
Oh, yeah,
I've
of
had it
course.
for ages,
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
Had it for years.
Yeah.
But
You get
let's
cost you
see.
$3.49 nowadays.
What else have I been
True.
watching? A bunch of YouTube. A bunch of YouTube.
Yeah. I relate to that. Believe it or not, I did see a little bit of the Olympics, despite my sort of general I don't do sports. I saw the craziest speed running up a wall that I've ever seen. I think it's a new world record.
Yeah.
You know what's worse?
Absolutely.
Breakdancing.
I would definitely watch that.
Amazing, except for that one chick who was terrible. But I couldn't even imagine. I was like, this is crazy. Breakdancing. Then this girl, she did moves today that knocked my socks off. I told Steve, Hip Hop and Comics, I told him, I was like, this girl, we should record her just to do moves for Tekken video games. And then the girl she was up against, was very good, but she was let's do choreography for Tekken. She's more like the girl that I would hire to be an undercover guest at my wedding to start that Soul Train move, on the dance floor, Which, by the way, best thing ever. One of my fake cousins at his wedding, his wife hired 3 people posing as family members who were professional dancers who got everyone on the floor. And now
That's awesome.
I will steal that idea forever.
Yep,
Yeah,
but
that is
that's
a
all
really
I've
good
got.
idea.
Dude.
No worries, Vogger.
I'd never seen that wall thing before. I think that's a new one, isn't it? For the
Yeah, it's mad.
sounds amazing.
I couldn't believe it.
I was sitting in a pub having having dinner when it was on the TV there. What's all that about? I think it was
Nice.
4.76 seconds to run up. Amazing.
So, Terry, what watch you with your eyeballs this week?
Well, Disney Plus had the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I watched that. I enjoyed that right up to almost the end. it's a silly thing to say about something being far fetched, considering what it is. But the ending was a bit far fetched as far as the flooding was concerned, because I was where the hell that bloody water was coming from. Because they were virtually level ground, weren't they?
How many more movies are they signed on for? Do they have quite a bit of movies left?
They have two more left for this trilogy that they would like to do.
But as I say, it wasn't bad, and then the very, very end was a bit weird. But as I say, obviously leaving it open so they can make other films.
I thought it was one of the best movies this year, honestly. And I'm flabbergasted that you're like, oh, I don't know where the fight came from. I'm like, they did that whole thing. Then they found the guns. I was like, I'm pretty sure it was all very back to back. Another interesting thing that they did in the after credits is you could hear the sound.
Oh.
Another one.
Oh boy, Higgins hitting us with his DJ Khaled impression. Nice.
Mike joined us.
Mike.
What it is?
So you could hear the sound.
I turned it off there, so I didn't see the after credits. So I didn't know there was an after credit scene. So I have to go back.
It's not even a scene. It's just you hear the sound of the orangutan breathing, and I think it's supposed to harken back to
him still being alive.
Right? No, not even that. The other dude. Remember the monkey that makes the shift towards everything going poorly. When he dies in the second film, you hear him breathing at the end of the film. He never returns. It's just the concept that his thoughts will carry on. So now I feel it's the flip side with the breathing of the orangutan. It's that the orangutan's thoughts and principles are going to carry on.
Do you want to hear something funny real quick? When I was a little kid, the first movie came out, and we were in the movie theater, and I forgot who it was but we forgot what movie theater we're in. We walk in and we watch 5 minutes of Planet of the Apes, the first one.
No, I mean, to be honest, I was around when the first set came out, and I really enjoyed those. I got my little mate over here.
Oh, I love that. My mate's got one of those as well.
That's got the original 5 films in, plus the original TV series. I know the TV series didn't last very long, but that's
cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's a wonderful DVD set.
Caesar in the back is in the back there.
That's Caesar, right?
Wow.
Yeah. The
original Roddy McDowell. Bless him.
God bless
Roddy. I was looking him up today, actually, Roddy McDowell, and I didn't realise it, but he was born on September the 17th in 1928, and my father was born on the 15th of September 1928.
Oh, that's crazy.
But my father lasted a little bit longer than what Roddy McDowell did, unfortunately. But no, it's just so I started rewatching the original. I've got all the others. I've got the new one still as well. But no, I enjoyed the film. It wasn't like that. It was just the ending was just a bit weird because it just got me that the seawater. It was at the same level, and yet it managed to fill up that thing. So high, it just didn't make any sense. But then, as I said, it's a weird concept anyway, isn't it? Sort of thing of the actual film itself.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I watched last night actually was I've been buying a lot of these £3.49 films at the moment because of the horror stuff and everything else.
Yeah.
And horror. This was You Should Have Left with Kevin Bacon and Amanda Seyfried. Don't know if anybody's seen it.
Okay.
But
both good actors. Really good actors.
Suspenseful. Kevin Bacon's very good in it. But you've seen it.
I feel like I have seen that, but I couldn't tell you what it's about. Like that's.
They go to this house, but there's something that Kevin Bacon is keeping from everybody, and the house knows all about it. And
that he's made of bacon,
right?
He's victimized by the house, so to speak. But it's a pretty good film. But that's mainly what I've been watching. Barely watched anything. I've watched a bit of, of the Olympics. Watched bits and pieces, but mainly, I barely watch TV now. I'm on this thing all the time.
Yeah.
So, watching this or recording a video or some such thing, sort of thing. It's got in my blood now, unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever the case may be. I don't know. So,
Only time will tell.
Well, I mean, to say majority. I mean, I do watch television. Where there is something interesting on, but nowadays it just, I don't know. It's just all reality. So many reality programs and all the other
streaming services are taking over. I agree.
So it just bores me to tears majority of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually record everything if it's because it's 9 times out of 10 it's not on BBC, so therefore it's got adverts in, so I can spin through the adverts. But,
right.
That's mainly what I've been watching with my eyeballs.
Brilliant. Rob, what watch you with your eyeballs this week?
You're muted.
Still muted, mate.
Thank you. I forgot. My damn courtesy of muting myself when I was the Batman Cape and Cowl. Watched all but the final episode of that. I enjoyed that, and I watched all of that '90s show because I love the '70s show so much that I'm willing to suffer through the '90s show.
I heard it's a good show.
Red and Kitty never disappoint, and that's all I need.
They don't. I got. The rest of it. I mean, look, it's not bad, but it's not the same as the original by any stretch of imagination. But the final, the cliffhanger, so to speak, because I don't know if really, since the new episodes drop again in like 2 weeks. I'm not sure if you really call it a new season or whether it's just kind of like
I think they're half seasons.
Yeah, they kind of dropped a chunk of them checking it, so it's kind of a cliffhanger. Having Jay and Silent Bob show up, essentially, not as Jay and Silent Bob, but having those characters crash through the into the kitchen, having Kevin Smith basically play the son of Tommy Chong.
I'm not going to lie, that's half the reason I'm interested in watching any of it. The thing is, I know he's in it, and I want to watch that specifically, but I feel like I need to watch all of the rest of it before I watch that.
You can listen. TM and I very much enjoy it. TM likes it even more than I do. He gives it very high marks, but it's not the same thing. But Red and Kitty are wonderful, so you always have that.
To be honest, if you only cared about seeing Kevin Smith, you can watch just that one episode.
I know, but I did like the other series, so
yeah. Well, if you like the other series, then it's worth watching. I mean, look, the main characters aren't, aside from Red and Kitty, they pop up a little bit. Mostly, it's like Donna in the first episode of each thing as they're dropping off her and Eric's daughter. But they in the first season there was a little bit more. You had a cameo from the Kelsos, and you had a cameo from Fez. But aside from that, it's a new group of kids. And you wonder why they still all hang out in this basement, whether or not they live there or not. They're in the basement, even when the granddaughter's not there. I mean, it's just like people just come over and hang out in the basement. Our basement's wide open. Everybody, come on in.
Well, no, but that in season 1, it is Kitty's fault, and she loves it.
Right? She loves having the kids around and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's like, Red is powerless, but whatever.
Rob,
it's still
one question. What do they
just
say happened with Hyde? Because I know Hyde.
They don't address it. They don't address it.
Yeah, they just let that ride.
Yeah, nobody wants them to address it.
They don't talk about it.
Ignore it completely.
I
know Kelso's son is hilarious. I think I saw a clip where it's like, Red's like, "Whose kid are you?" And he said, "Oh, I'm Jay Kelso." He's like, "Dear God, how did that kid have a spawn?"
Let me ask this question. Is there jokes in it?
Yes.
Because I've seen a lot of recent sitcoms that just don't have jokes. And that drives me insane.
There's jokes, and it's and there's stuff about growing up in that era that and from stuff from VCRs to big computers hopping on the internet for the first time, and getting people dial up modems and that type of stuff. What's interesting, there's no I haven't seen a kid with a pager yet. Which is something I would have potentially expected.
Remember, they're in the Midwest,
AOL
in the 90s. right? So pagers are only for drug dealers and doctors.
Well,
Hey,
it's
I
the
had a
mid '90s
pager
though.
in
By
the
the mid '90s,
90s,
I had a cell
and I
phone, so
was
I
not
would
a drug
expect
dealer.
that pagers might have still. But regardless, they're there's some stuff that's kind of fun throughout there, and it's
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure Zach from Saved by the Bell had a pager. So if Zach from Saved by the Bell
Oh,
had a
he had
pager,
the
every
cell phone.
90s,
Zach
every
had the
90s
cell
kid
phone.
should in TV.
yeah, no, but I
Okay.
mean, yes,
I'm gonna have a
there's-
look at that. I think it will be a fun thing.
What would you rate it, Rob?
it's fun. On a scale of 10, it's a 6.5 to a
6?
7. I'd say 6.5,
Is it
7.
on Netflix?
I mean, because I enjoyed
Yeah.
the '70s show. Yeah, it's a Netflix show.
Did you?
It's a little bit of nostalgia. Enjoy it. I mean, definitely, it's trillion times better than that '80s show, which was, of course,
I was
a
gonna
show
ask. Did you watch that?
that show has nothing to do with this. Whereas this is, the '70s show was in original '80s was just kind of like, hey, let's just try to recreate this, and it really
Yeah.
had no direct connection. Whereas this, at least, the '90s show is a direct connection and direct because it's the grandkid of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
main characters, right? From that thing is, again, we're a little wonky on times because this is the second season here, it's 1996 it occurs.
Mhm.
And we left the cast of that '70s show in 1980.
Yep.
And the granddaughter, who wasn't even conceived yet at that point, is now getting ready to learn how to drive. So it's like we're basically suggesting that basically as soon as we left them at the end of that '70s show, Donna got pregnant,
They
like
got busy
instantly, because otherwise,
the gap
And-
still doesn't fit.
And
though,
I
'cause
and I
it's a
can and I
16-year
can buy
gap.
that.
well, no, because she's learning to drive. She doesn't have a
Okay,
license
okay,
yet,
Okay.
so
okay,
she
okay.
could. Yeah, so
So it could fit. It could fit.
It fits. I've seen worse happen in real life.
well, no, this is
That's
true,
true.
right? I mean, but
I
And of course,
think I'm going
that-
to check it out. It's
some of
gonna
the
happen.
funniest stuff is I forget the character's name, but the young guy who's the gay character on the show, who's trying to find, here he is. First of all, in the '90s, it's not still, it's not like it is today, where it's still
Yeah, very
challenging,
taboo.
but it's even still more taboo. And he's in the Midwest, which is not, and he's like he tells you, look, I'm the only one. How excited he gets when he finds one other person who's.
Yeah,
But-
he has that boyfriend in Canada, which of course it doesn't work out because it's a boyfriend in Canada.
Right.
Poor Ozzy.
Anyways.
His name is Ozzy, by the way. Love him.
Ozzy, that's what it is. Thank you. I was drawing a blank. I'm an old man with no memory. I couldn't name any of the kids, by the way. It's not just that one. I couldn't tell you the girl's name. All I know is
Jake
she's
Kelso?
she's granddaughter of Eric and Donna.
Rob, you should be a little bit ashamed because her name is an extremely significant Star Wars name.
Oh, it's Leia.
It's
Is it
Leia.
Leia?
Yeah.
That's right.
That's cool. I
See,
like that.
but
Eric
I'm just
and
saying, I
Donna,
just really
and their
can't remember.
and that's
Anyways,
their granddaughter, or that's
That's
Red
granddaughter.
Kitty's granddaughter.
it's Red and Kitty's granddaughter. It's
Okay, I gotcha.
Eric and Donna's daughter,
Okay, I could see that. I like that, Leia.
who of course
That
becomes
works.
best. She just comes over for the summer though, and then she befriended, of course, the people next door who live in Donna's old house. But
Yeah,
Start
and
the ship.
Kelso's kid, I think, is named Jay, if I'm not wrong. What I saw preview.
Yep. But
yeah, and
a
he's
lot of people call him
yeah.
Kelso, which is hilarious.
Yeah, which is great.
and of course he's trying to become a good boyfriend and be a boyfriend to Leia. So,
Yeah.
Oh,
but anyways,
no.
He's actually an intelligent Kelso. He's got his mother's like brains and his dad's everything else. So and his father's stupidity. So he's got the mother's book smarts. That's what's important.
we've talked way more about this '90s show than I thought we were going to.
I know.
It's kind
Hope
of
you're
phenomenal. I
watching
love that.
TM30.
That's what I love
didn't
about
expect
this
that.
show. I had no idea we would be talking about this '90s show
But now-
for
but,
any amount of time, let alone. That's
exactly.
impressive.
Who
I'll
knew
tell
I
you
would be
what,
upset
based
that I
on
missed
Rob-
the Grease reading of the day?
The grease reading.
I'll go back and
you
watch
did,
it,
yeah, you'll have
rewind.
to go back.
It's
That
very
was
short and
great.
sweet this week, Rob. Very
It
short
was
and
very
sweet.
Well, as it should be, but
True.
I'm not sure it even made sense, to be honest.
No, it didn't.
Does it
I'm
ever?
like,
What watch you with your eyeballs this week?
Mike,
You.
Mike.
I actually watched quite a bit. First off, I saw Borderlands in the theater, and nay to all the reviews out there, I actually really liked it. I'm not going to say it was the best movie ever, but I mean, and I've said this before,
good.
it feels like those new Jumanji movies. I'm not. It has nothing to do with Jumanji. Don't get that assumption. It just feels like the structure.
Well, that's good
and the-
because I have tickets to go see it tomorrow, and I was when I started
I
seeing
wanna say-
reviews drop, I was going like, "Oh my god!"
I can say, like, watching the movie, like what was missing, of course, is the gore. It's a PG-13, and surprisingly, it's directed by Eli Roth, like a known horror director, but it still pulls off those action scenes without the blood. Like, it still worked for me. I mean, it wasn't about and it does have slowdown scenes. I could say the choreograph when it came to Kate Blanchett and her doing her gunslinger, like spinning the revolvers and stuff. That was actually absolutely dope because they were like futuristic guns and it wasn't the regular type of spins you see. No, I mean, but other than that,
I'm going into it having never played the game. I know nothing of the lore of the game, so I'm
I
hoping.
don't have a lot of that either. I only played the games like very minimal. I never beat any of them. I never made it that far because there's so much to do. So I didn't really have like a main like knowledge of the. I know Handsome Jack and I know, and some of those characters are missing, but mine. I mean, you don't really need that. It's still got the same core of the game. Like everybody's trying to get to this vault. They have no idea what's in it. You know, that's kind of the premise of the movie.
That's it. That's I'm
Actually,
just hoping it's just kind of a sci-fi adventure comedy
Yeah.
romp, you know.
It,
So
well, okay, so that I would say is kind of minus. It's not really comedic at all. There are a couple like
great.
funny. Well, that I'd say is a plus because I'm not a big fan of Kevin Hart, especially the way they use him. Like every movie where he's the comedic, he wasn't that in this movie. He was a serious like action guy. I mean, he had a couple like, and that's all it is a couple like cheesy one-liners that you might find funny, but other than that, it's pretty much a straightforward story like action movie. Like it's more like a quest type of movie, you know, like. But I enjoyed it. Calling
I'm
it the
actually a
worst
lot more
movie
interested in seeing it now.
like calling
you've
it.
said it's
That's
not
why.
a comedy.
Okay, we bought. I pre-ordered tickets because I was excited for this movie. My brother saw the reviews that day and didn't go. He didn't use his ticket. He was like, "Nope, I'm not going. It's trash." Everybody. So I went alone, and like I really enjoyed it. Came home, told him. By the time I got home, the reviews had moved up a little bit, but no. And I want to believe I kind of figured out where the hate is coming from. You know, it might be like some Jack Black hate. It might be some like Jamie Lee
oh,
Curtis
Jack
hate.
Black's in it?
Yeah, and see,
No.
that's
He's
another thing.
he's the voice of Claptrap.
Claptrap, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't. I'll tell you who has a surprise cameo is Bobby Lee. I don't see Bobby Lee enough in movies, and I really liked his cameo. Thought it was hilarious. Okay, so moving on, because I watched a bunch. I finished Shogun, which man 9 out of 10 for me. Almost like better than the House of Dragon season 2, and I'm not. And I watched that too. House of Dragon was probably 8, 5, 9. You know, it was right there. But I really enjoyed Shogun. I mean, Shogun just blew it out of the water. Even like knowing the story, it got me by surprise on some of the twists and turns, kind of thing. Batman, the Cape Crusader, and this is another one that is heated, like in the in the community, whether it's either liked or hated. But I loved it. It feels just like a continuation or a redo of the Batman the animated series that we grew up with. And I hate to say redo, but it's not a continuation, so it's kind of weird to.
No,
Like-
I'm calling it a reboot, but I love it as well.
It kind of is, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
what's wrong
I
with it.
really enjoyed it. It does have some differences, you know, and I want to say, I mean, since it's J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves, and it's who's the other person that's tied to it? There's 3 big people that are tied to it. but
What's it
Bruce
on?
Timm.
Still in it.
Bruce Timm, yeah, Bruce Timm. But I want to say that it does fit more into the Batman mythos, you know, like I mean, with Commissioner Gordon, with I mean, but no, I really enjoyed it. There are some major differences on some of the villains. Like Penguin was a female. I thought that version was dope. I really enjoyed that. Their version of Two Face is outstanding. What do you call it? Let's see. I
Clayface.
watched X for the first time. Doctor Von Hoot. You seen X?
I have. Hang on. The slasher movie set where they're
Yes.
making an adult movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I did not know that part of it. I did not know that they were filming in that. So, like, while and I heard that they got really good reviews, and I mean, of course, now we've got like a prequel, and a sequel to that movie.
Yeah.
But like, man, you talk about the whole first hour of that movie just being a straight up like adult movie. Like there's a 2 hour film, and it doesn't even get to the slasher stuff until like I
It
think an
really
hour and
doesn't.
10 minutes in.
Yeah,
I
you're
was like,
right.
dang.
I sort of I like that movie, but not very much. Like it's
You know what's
Saw
like-
X or just X?
just X.
Yeah, just X.
Yeah,
And
it's a
I
one
want to say
and
the
done for
hardest
me. I
thing
don't-
behind it is what we got in prequel form is Pearl and the husband, the bad guys, right? And
Yeah.
it's like in a horror movie, you want to love the bad guys like Jason, Michael Myers, and this is one of those type of movies. It's basically it was what's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre without the whole family. It was just two of them, right? It was almost the same setting. It was set in Texas.
Similar, yeah.
Even the house looked very similar to the Texas Chainsaw house, but then you get down to like why they're doing it, and it's just because she like wants to feel pretty and doesn't feel like I don't know. It was hard to get behind the villain kind of thing, and it's weird because the prequel movie Pearl is based on her when she was younger, the bad lady. And I'm assuming Maxine, the new movie that just came out, is a continuation.
I've not seen either of the sequels, or prequels.
I started Pearl, and it's so weird because it looks like it's set in colonial times, and I'm like, wait a minute, we were in like the 80s. Like, how did it go all the way to? She would only be like, I mean, the earliest it could be was maybe like 1940s. I mean, we can't get, but it looked
that's
like
intriguing. I'm at least intrigued by that. So maybe I'll give it a go at some point. Yeah.
I did start the third season of Umbrella Academy, and I was so lost. I had to go, or the fourth season, and I was so lost. So I had to. I'm having to go back and rewatch the third season because I don't exactly like. It just there's no recap or nothing, and it just starts out, and I'm like, bro, I do not remember any of this going down. So either it just starts.
You didn't
off
get the
with,
recap? Oh, mine had the recap.
I just went straight into it, and I was like, "This is so weird to give us that big of a gap and no recap." Yours had a recap?
Mine had the recap.
Damn you! No, mine didn't.
Because I forgot that they had lost their powers. So, and that was a very important thing in the recap. And I was like, "Oh, that's right, they don't have powers." Okay.
That's where I was like, when they started out, I was like, "Why is this other team so way overpowered? Why aren't they?" No, I was lost. Looks good though, so far, But that's what I want.
Cool. As for me, what I watch with my eyeballs, rather. Actually, not that much. I finished House of Dragons, which I pretty much liked all the way through. Like I was pretty there with it. I thought the ending was like they did the Game of Thrones thing where they give you sort of the finale the episode before, and then they just have like an average episode as the finale, which is a weird thing to do, but they always did that. So can't really blame
I want to
them
say
for
it had like huge hype moments, and then it had like really bland, boring parts. Like all it was like a huge cliffhanger to let us know, hey, the next season is going to be this massive ass battle by like a whole bunch of like forces. But like they spent the whole episode explaining that we're about to get to the battles.
Yeah, exactly. Just looking at my list of movies, I watched Avengers Confidential, Black Widow and Punisher, the anime, which I'd never seen before. I just saw it was on Netflix, and I thought, why not give it a watch. I love the studio that makes it. It was made by Madhouse, and Madhouse a phenomenal animation, which is their job. But they're really, really great. But the actual movie is okay. I mean, it's watchable. It's a one and done.
The story. The story was kind of like,
yeah. The story sort of doesn't exist, and like the voice acting, particularly on the dub, was not great at times. Like lots of very quite wooden, but it had its moments, and it was watchable. Anyone But You. Anybody heard about this movie? It's not really our demographic. This is a rom-com starring Sydney Sweeney and that dude that's in that
No. It is a rom-com starring Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, that dude.
It's about
from
perspective.
Twisters. That's what I said. Like, I can't remember everything.
From Twister. DDH. Why are you assaulting me? Okay, why are you assaulting me? All right,
I enjoyed him very much.
He's a Top Gun Maverick. He's in The Hitman, and he's in Twisters, and he's in Anyone But You, and he should be Batman as far as I'm concerned. Okay, and he's from the series Scream Queens, and he is a god among white men. I don't know what else to say here. Unbelievable.
I mean,
hey, who is he on Scream
Queens?
Queens?
He's a little bit wooden, to be honest.
Who was he on Scream Queens? Was he the jock?
It doesn't matter who he's on screen with. Although you guys love Sydney Sweeney, she's very
Scream
pretty.
Queens.
On Scream Queens, Jamie Lee Curtis is in it, and
who was he?
He was the big sexy dude banging. What's her name with the nails? The cop.
You talking about the jock?
Yeah, he was a bit of a jock, and he was always in the shower with the guys, always having those shower. Like he had that shower scene in season 2 with Uncle Jesse. Like there was that whole thing. But yes, I love Glenn Powell to no end. Everything I have to say after this is just inappropriate. So yes, Glenn Powell.
Yeah. So it depends on your tolerance for sort of middle of the road romantic comedies.
The movie's not great.
It's not bad though. Like it's not great, but it's not
great. But it's okay. If you're the type of person like me who will throw on a rom-com to pass the time, then it's fine. But I'm looking at this panel, and I know a lot of you are not that man, so I said what I said.
Yeah, I feel like this is not the audience predominantly.
It depends. Is Drew Barrymore in it?
No.
Then it's not for me.
Yeah, exactly.
I like.
Although I do love all of Drew's rom-coms.
Hey, I gotta laugh after I have Mrs. Von Hoot, so that's it. That's my win. That's my win of this hour.
She's not even here. Like she's gone off to London. So
well, then who's playing
Mrs. She's watching on the train on the way home. I expect.
She's watching on the train. That's so great.
She's keeping her eyes on her man.
Make sure I am where I say I am.
You're not AI.
Are aggressively relaxing and promiscuous time traveler? Is there like a thing here? Is there like a connect that needs to happen?
No.
I mean,
is it just me? Is it just my gay ass?
It's just you.
Just one.
It's you.
Making fantasy.
Well, time traveling wife was good.
Astronaut's wives.
I know there's something else I've seen. It's really annoying me. I watched Galaxy Quest again. I mean, that's a classic. So
it's a classic.
When are you not watching Galaxy Quest? When is that not in the rotation?
Oh, honestly, I hadn't watched it for about 20 years. Like, I genuinely hadn't watched it for ages.
It was one of those 349 movies I got earlier, so I haven't got around to watching it again, but it's great.
It's loads of fun. Yeah, highly recommended. And Badger decided that I had to watch like a double bill of Karate Kid 2 and 3 because she wanted to watch them immediately.
The better ones.
Okay.
Right.
Well, the original.
I love the Karate Kid movies, but I have seen them so many times.
To death.
Sometimes that's okay because but sometimes you're like, yeah, no, I'm done with this movie.
Yeah, like I was fine with 2 again, but when 3 is good at the end, but there's like this middle section that's just like I've seen it so many times. Make it stop. But yeah, I'm being unkind. I love those films. They're great. And that's what I've watched this week with my eyeballs. So, with that, what read you this week? Tony, you're underneath me.
So I got like 2 big bags of books for New Comic Book Day, but I've only read 3. And I read the Nice House at the Sea, Nice House by the Sea. You know, it was pretty good. There's a lot of repetition. It reminded me a lot of the first one, but I'm gonna give it a few more issues because I don't know. I say I found it lacking, but I couldn't tell you what I think is lacking in it. But it was pretty decent, you know. So I'll give it a few more issues, and we'll see how that goes. I got to read issues 2 and 3 of Kanto. Still love that. Starting to find out a little bit more about the Shrouded Man and his past and Kanto's quest to put the heart back in him. Apparently, that's how you beat him. And I think it's wrapping up in the next issue. And I haven't read this book yet, but I'm going to show it off. Transformers number 10. I have all my comics loaded in my CLZ app. I've been using it for a few years. And I was proud to say that this was entry number 6,000.
Ooh.
So,
That's
now,
a lot of books, Tony.
granted, now, if I'd have kept every book that I sold, traded, was damaged, or was stolen, I probably would have had double that by now. And I still wouldn't equal Rob's collection. Oh, no, dude. No hate. Respect.
Oh, yes. Vogger, what read you this week?
Shout out to my friend Kevin, Random Rips. He knows I love Jenny Frison covers. Shout out to my Jenny Frison friends, like Chris the Comic Vet. He sent me You're the Villain, Hostile Takeover, Wonder Woman. I already have a few of these. I don't know how big the run is, but it's a really good story. It's a quick synopsis. She's home, and then she gets an urgent message from one of her fellow Amazons to go save them and help them fight against Cheetah because Cheetah has escaped. And it leaves off where she gets there. So
You've got to
really
show us the
good.
cover if you're going to wave it around. Is that a Frison, is it?
Yep.
Wow, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yep.
It's really interesting. It's not a usual style. For a start, she's happy. Like, that's...
It's a few years ago, isn't it? Year of the Villain. It's a few years ago.
Yeah, it would be, yeah.
Yeah, but it's also great. It's also great to see a pretty Wonder Woman cover where she doesn't look like she's going to a funeral.
True. But yeah, that's what I've been reading. I enjoyed it very much.
Tremendous. Thank you. Cliff, what read you this week?
Oh my goodness, what have I read this week? Well, you know what? We'll just go with my one big purchase of the week, which is Uncanny X-Men #1. Here's my 1 in 50, featuring a Luciano Vecchio Rogue cover. Look at her in all of her greatness. The zoom in of her giving the wink, her full luscious TNA body, powerfully rising into the air like the near goddess level dynamo that she is.
I love Savage Land Rogue.
Everybody, yeah, all the heteros love Savage Land.
Yeah.
It
goes without saying, I'm pretty sure.
I was like, every
actually,
man.
I pass.
Okay.
Yeah, I pass.
Rob is out.
I'm sorry, you totally pass on Savage Land Rogue, or like? It's just
I'm not.
totally
I'm not.
pass
I
on
don't.
all
I'm talking
levels
Rogue.
of
Period.
Rogue. Yeah, Rogue. No, I stay the hell away from Rogue.
Now,
You're
give me a
talking about she's
Savage
the
Land
biggest
Mary
catfish
Jane.
ever.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay,
there you
by
go.
the way, in the Savage Land, she
I'll
doesn't
take me
have her
some
powers,
Psylocke.
so that's like into your.
I don't even care about any of that. I just
I don't care
don't-
either because she's gonna get them back, and then it's gonna be extra
Whatever.
confusing 'cause when
Rogue,
she gets
Rogue
it back.
is super hot, and I like Rogue.
She's no
I
Mary
like,
Jane.
I like Rogue like this better than I like her, as knockoff Solomon Grundy, which is how I refer to her in her Dazzler appearances. So for anyone who's seen her in Dazzler, she's knockoff Solomon Grundy. Honestly, do you know what I think it is? I think that time Wolverine kissed her and gave her regenerative powers, her youth was restored, and it was like, oh, look, I'm beautiful again.
I mean, it strikes me as sort of wonderful that the one person that has bought that, like 1 in 50?
1 in 50, yes.
That I know is you. Like, it's not one of the regular sort of. It's not me, for instance.
Right, it's not a headlight hunter. It's big old gay Cliff.
Yeah. I mean, I every time you've shown it, I've thought I should have got that. So
aren't they making a series of them? I think next week Gambit comes out.
Gambit comes out, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna be devastated and financially ruined, but I guess I'm gonna have to get all the Luciano Vecchio covers.
Well, you've got to pay the price if you want to be in the game. That's the rule of a comic book geek that needs all those books. Terry, what read you this week?
There wasn't that many came out this week. I think I had about a dozen books, but some of them were variants anyway. But first of all, I thought the Birds of Prey one, I thought I bought the variant for a minute, but actually they do end up in an animated universe. I'm sort of liking this and not liking it. I'm mainly buying it because I've got all the Birds of Prey from the very beginning, and so it's a case of filling a gap. Whether I'll continue with it or not, I don't know. The issue 13 is the last of this story arc. I'll try issue 14 and see if I enjoy it. If not, I think I'll be giving it up. And then I've got the Gotham City Sirens. #1. Again, this was I thought this was the A cover for some unknown reason. It is a variant. It's the interlocking one with the other 3 issues that come out this month. This wasn't bad. I wasn't expecting it to be great because I lost interest really in Harley and the others, but this actually wasn't too bad. And then a book that nearly ended up in the bin. This was from last week, but it was in one of my boxes that I put all the cardboard out, and it was still in there. So I nearly lost this, but I'm glad I didn't because it was really good. Really enjoyed this.
I really enjoyed that book as well.
Bi-monthly as well. I think the next issue's out in September, but there's also a quarterly coming out as well. So
yep,
I'm really looking forward to more of that Flash.
And then it's just cool. This is the last issue of Neil Before Zod. I think it was supposed to have been a 12-issue series, so I'm assuming it didn't sell too well because this is the last issue. And Cliff, put your fingers in your ears and close your eyes. Absolute Power #2. And unfortunately, Cliff, I am really enjoying this. I wasn't expecting to, but I am enjoying this. And this was
that's because Mark Waid is a good writer, and he's a better writer than this is a good plot. So I'm having a lot of mixed feelings about it, but I did flip through it. But those are my words.
This one, there's so much action goes on in this. I mean, it's from the beginning to the end, sort of thing. It's non-stop, and that's what what a comic book's supposed to be, isn't it?
Sometimes, yeah, it should be. There should be a nice balance.
Yeah.
Mark Waid knows what he's doing.
That's the ones I've read so far. I've got a few more, but I haven't read them yet.
Radio.
Yeah, I just got. Oh, well, I say that. I've only got Daredevil and Shazam to go.
Okay. I'm with you. Okay. Rob, what read you this week?
I read whatever came out this week. I know I read Batman. It's one I remember, but honestly, I don't remember what else I read this week. It was a small stack.
That's not a good sign, though, is it? When you don't remember during
That's right.
the week.
Sorry, interrupting. That was right. Batman and Space Ghost. I've got to read as well. I haven't read them yet.
Yeah, so there you are. That's it. All I know is I have no books pending me to read.
Yeah.
I've read everything that's come in and moved it to the back, so I can't even flip through what do I have stacked up here because it's not.
I mean, that's good. At least you're reading them as they come in.
Other than that, I mean, I read legal contracts this week. It's exciting stuff. And even worse was I had quite a few from the UK that I've had to read. So it's worse in that I have to read English, but I have to read legal English. That is just you guys. I thought we were extra wordy. Holy cow.
I believe you. Yeah.
I'm surprised it's not in Latin, just to confuse you even more.
No, but I think it uses 16th century English, which nobody uses. Maybe with a sprinkling of Welsh and
Yeah. Why use one word when 87 will do?
That's right. And it's actually that's the funny bit is that the legal team that writes our contracts in the US and versus the UK. The UK are very verbose as most legal teams typically are, but we have an awakening here in our US team where they've decided that more words just get you into trouble, less words are better, and so they've gone into the minimalist writing style. So it's quite the dichotomy. This is vocabulary 101 for anybody who's missing it. We've now hit verbose. We've hit dichotomy. This is all for you guys. Your $12
I'm loving
words.
this, to be honest.
Add to your linguistic repertoire and your vernacular. There you go.
It's croissant, by the way.
Croissant.
Yeah.
Rob's the older brother I always wanted.
Mike, what's read you this week? I think you're muted still, mate.
Still muted.
Technical.
Technical difficulties.
Oh. Sideways.
Yeah, because everybody's turning his mute on and off, but it was a mic issue.
That went sideways real quick.
Okay, so what I've read this week, The Deviant, issue 7, after a little bit of hiatus. Really like that book. It's really getting going again, which is nice. I'm looking forward to where it's going to end up as well, which is always nice. It's going to be, I think, 10 issues. I might be wrong about that, but it's very exciting. If you like a blend of sort of serial killer slasher sort of stuff, it's great. We've lost Vogger as well. They're all dropping off now.
Is it one story arc?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
So I don't know whether they split it into 2 trades or put it into one. I expect.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. I'm just going through what I've read, which is not very much. I'm sort of hesitant to recommend The Deviant until it finishes, but I think when it ends, it's going to be a banger. Like, unless they screw the finish up. Like, it should be good. Because at first I was a bit hesitant because I was worried about the portrayals, but they've sort of remedied all that as it goes on. So I'm quite. This is pretty cool. Scarlet issue 3, I think it came out this week. Of the GI Joe side of the Energon universe.
Energon.
Really, really cool, but simple. If you see what I mean, like the Deviant, you feel like you're reading a proper story, whereas this feels like a snapshot into a fun little action sequence of a book. I really enjoyed it. I'm really digging Scarlet quite a lot of all the Energon books. Destro hasn't really lit my world on fire, but Scarlet, loved it. Mike, well, back to you.
All right, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I started reading the whole Batman New 52, and right now I'm right after Endgame. Really enjoying that. The Court of Owls, I give it like an 8. It's pretty good. I want to say I like the fact that they integrated the Court of Owls throughout all of it. It wasn't just like a one and done and they were gone. I like how they kind of show up as the story's going on. I don't know about the whole non-linear thing that they did, like, telling like a present day story and then jumping all the way back to like when he first became Batman, and I mean that's a little confusing. All right, the new stuff. I spit on his grave, Scotty Young. I caught up with all that series. Like I say, I love the story. For me, it's a little. I'm a little hard on the art. It's like I don't know why Jorge Corona's doing this, but he's like doing this extra big, like Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane, like uh, everybody's got like pouches on pouches. Like it's about a gunslinger, and she wears like a gun belt, and she's got a gun belt under that, and a gun belt under that, and a gun belt under that, and to the point where she can't even reach the guns that are under that gun. It's like, what are you doing? But the story is fantastic. So I do like the story, but some of the art is just like, come on, man. And I love Jorge Corona. It's really weird. Caught up on Exodus. That's been really good. Uh, I'm halfway caught up on Geiger. I've liked all that, but I've liked that since the beginning. Trying to think what else I read. Oh, and Feral. I finally broke down and read Feral. I've enjoyed that. I'd say her first book was a lot better, but this one's good.
What issue are they on now with Feral?
I would say
4.
4.
Yeah.
And does it get better? Because I sort of jumped off at 2. Because basically what I'm getting at is if I wasn't that bothered by 2, should I try and go back or should I just leave it?
I'd say right now there hasn't been like I would recommend and I'm drawing a blank at the first series if somebody can help me out with the puppies.
Stray Dogs.
Stray Dogs, exactly. That series I loved, and I recommended it to non-comic book people, and it was easy to give people, and as long as they liked horror and they weren't, too picky on animal cruelty, because that's hard to. That was an easy read to give to people, but this one, it's just not really like highly recommendable. It's an okay story, but it's not something that I rant and rave about. A lot of people have been boasting up grommets. I'm caught up on grommets, and I know a lot of people love grommets. It's not there for me. Like we're 3 issues in. It's okay. The art's okay. It's great. I actually like the art more than the story. But for me, there hasn't been anything like, oh my god, you have to read this. This is mind blowing. Like, not really. It's more like a nostalgic type of it. But kind of the same thing with Feral. Like the art's the best thing about Feral. I can say that.
Okay, I'll probably leave it still then because. Like I love Stray Dogs as well, and I just didn't feel any attachment to any of the characters.
It's almost like what you said about the Deviant, because I'm reading the Deviant too, and the Deviant it's good. I could even see it being made into a movie easily, like and it being, but it also depends on the ending, and we're getting close. And it's kind of the same thing with Feral, but minus. Like Feral's one of those things where it's been like kind of mediocre the whole way through, and depending on the ending and the ending. What they're hyping up, like if it pays off, it could be something that turns out to be really cool.
The problem is Feral's ongoing. Like it's not going to have an end.
Is it ongoing? Oh,
it's ongoing. Yeah, it's never like the plan is for this to carry on in perpetuity, which is insane.
I don't even see it. I can't even. Yeah, I can't imagine the story making it past 10 or 12. Like, I mean, like depending on the writer, imagination's everything, but like. I don't know.
I think you've got to like the characters because I mean, so they get mixed up. Because it was when I stopped reading it at 4. And
that's my biggest problem is I can't keep track of which cat is which and like.
That's the same. So you just lose interest. You've got no sense for them. I mean, well, at least with Stray Dogs, you felt for each one of them. So I think
there was a significant difference because we got different types of dogs, and it was easy to, I mean, like the Dalmatian, that this one's just different colored cats. There are some different variations, but
so that's why I even like the spin-off of Stray Dogs because there's so many. I mean, people they poo-pooed that one, but I mean, I enjoyed it because it was nice to get the little biographies of them all.
Yeah, I enjoyed. I think the expectations were too high for Dog Days, but it just fleshes bits out. It's not like it's really a whole new story or anything.
No, that's right. It was just their biogs, really, wasn't it? That's really what it was.
I feel like that's
what it was.
I feel like that's where you should have continued the story. I mean, I feel like there was a whole big part of the story that happened before Stray Dogs about the killer and how he inquired all those different dogs and what he had been doing over the years. That's a story you could tell. You know, I thought Pharaohs was going to be like somewhere kind of a continuation, something like that. And
it was a prequel of why he was doing it. I mean, there must have been a reason for why he was doing it. We never really got a backstory of him, did we? You know, we got a backstory of the dogs.
Like how he even came up, you know, to get the whole like dogs helping him and complacent, you know, because that takes training.
Right. That moves us on to Mal question time. Has anybody got any pressing questions this week? Because honestly, I've got nothing right now. I know that D23 is happening right now, but I haven't heard any news. So it's
listen, and it's so funny because like I haven't heard anything that has, you know, I haven't heard anything that I was like, oh man, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's nice to hear that that's official. Like, just nothing was particularly anything, you know. It's like the Mandalorian movie's coming. Cool, glad that that's confirmed. You know, Snow White is here, and it's like, cool. It looks better than I thought. All right, live action Snow White,
and a completely uninspiring trailer for Skeleton Crew.
Hey, I like Skeleton Crew. I thought like
it has. Hey, look, I know I'll watch it because it's Star Wars, but I had no desire. You know, the synopsis hadn't excited me, and this trailer did nothing to excite me any more than the synopsis did.
That was not a great trailer. Alien Romulus, right? Didn't do anything new as a trailer, but it did the classic stuff right. You know, it's hard for me when I think about this. It's like this. It's like when I was watching. There's this one season of Top Chef, and everyone's like, "This guy keeps winning with stuff that I do on the weekend," and it's like, yeah, because he does it to perfection, and that's how this guy made it to the end, right? So when I watch new trailers and I see new shows, and it's just like, you know, it's like I'll be like, oh, they tried something new and different, but they executed it really poorly, you know? And like, so this looks like it could, this looks like, it, I don't know what it looks like, but the execution, I'm with Rob, was like on the boring side. There was nothing, it didn't do anything new and interesting, and it didn't do the old school trailer. It didn't do, it could have just gone with an old school trailer really well to Laura Sand, but it didn't do that either. Am I making sense?
Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't see the Skeleton Crew trailer, so I don't have an opinion. But even if I did have an opinion, it would probably be nah.
So all the announcements, we got Skeleton Crew, we got a trailer, teaser trailer. I guess there's a full trailer though, but you know, teaser trailer for that. We got the announcement of Mandalorian Grogu as a you know, full-length feature film.
But we already knew that. I mean, like,
well, originally it was just a Mandalorian. I don't know. They added.
Okay. Well, here's the hair that you're splitting there. Yeah.
Okay, so we got a bunch of sequels: Toy Story 5, and we got like cut, you know, some scenes from that. Zootopia 2. We got a bunch of sequels. Well, what else on this one?
Avatar 3.
Oh,
yeah, Avatar
yes,
3,
I did
Fire
see
Notes.
that they saw some screen grabs of the trailer that they played. Again, I'll watch it.
The next big, what do you call it? I'm kind of excited for Zootopia too. I like that movie.
Moana 2, The Incredibles 3.
Yeah, Incredibles 3. But that was just a picture or whatever. We did get to see what the Stitch, the live action Stitch, looks like.
Didn't they show Harrison Ford as Red Hulk?
Mm-hmm.
They did.
Screenshots of him changing into the Red Hulk. We got. I just lost it when we said that. A full trailer to the live action Mufasa, and that actually looks decent. I guess. The live action trailer to Snow White.
Live action Mufasa.
Yes, it is a prequel story before.
Is it just a cartoon that looks realistic though? Because
no, it's live action. It's just like
they're using a real lion.
They're using
no, like the other Lion King, like the one we already got.
So it's
like
a cartoon that looks real. It's not the same thing.
It's
Ooh,
a
mean-
stick
okay,
figure.
I should say looks live action. You know,
Because I'm going, wait a second.
Sorry.
Unless it's a real lion doing the acting, it ain't live action.
hey. Okay, we don't have that. One day we will. It could be. We had a misread.
I'd rather watch that, to be honest. But
No, but it looks
Watch
okay.
the,
It's just
watch
about,
the all of humanity unfold halfway through when that lion gets hungry.
then
Yeah.
when he gets on his knees, he's like,
It would be
"No."
nice.
Oh,
if
this
when
just
they
got
come
good.
up with
It's even a
something
slasher
original one
film.
day, wouldn't it?
it would be nice. You're right. The all I'm hearing there is sequel.
Yep.
See,
Well, I haven't got
Unnecessary
it. I haven't-
sequels
I
as
haven't
well. I
got
mean,
to the
Toy
new
Story
stuff.
5. Why?
well,
We
that's.
did get-
I think
we
that's
did-
my problem. It's sequel that nobody asked for. Like nobody's asking for these movies.
Well, nobody asked for Toy Story 4.
Yes.
Toy Story, yeah. Toy Story is one of their biggest selling properties. So yeah.
Yeah, we know why they're trying to do it, but as I said,
I gotta be honest. I never ask for another Toy Story movie, and then I end up watching it because family, and I end up going, you know what? It was still better than I ever thought it deserved to be.
All of them have been good. Like,
3
Oh, yeah.
traumatized me because
I'm
yeah,
not saying
I
they're not
think
good,
most people
but just
cried.
nothing
during
original.
3.
Schindler's Toy Story 3 is
Right.
one of the most
Schindler's Toy Story 3.
Yeah, I mean
That's the
it
Price
does. It
property.
feels like it's bleak as hell. Like
yeah,
like,
when they all grab each
I was
other,
in tears watching that in the cinema, which is not something that happens every time.
yeah, I'm with my mother in the cinema. We have 3 of the kids, 3 girls with us, 3 of my nieces, and the toys reach out and grab each other's hands because they're ready to face death, right?
Yeah.
And my mother looks over to me and she's just like, "Is this a children's movie? And it's supposed to be." All 5 of us are crying, and then the freaking alien toys swoop in and rescue them. And the whole theater screamed. And this was back when I was less accustomed to the theater screaming. And my mother is like wiping tears from her eyes. And she's like, "Damn these movies."
Okay.
See, that's
So-
that's the new age because we grew up with like Bambi and Bambi's mom getting shot and old Yeller
True.
getting taken around back and getting put,
Yeah.
No, and then guess what? Those weren't toys. Those were living creatures.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, when I was a kid, when I was a kid, you were just used to people crying for Old Yeller. Everyone cried for it.
Mike,
Old Yeller
what
was
were the
really
non-sequels coming out you were saying?
We got 2. Okay, and here's the catch. Okay, so we got the next Pixar like big movie is called Hopper. I think now it's pronounced Hopper. It's about looks like a woodchuck or a beaver, maybe, but it was just a screenshot. And the other new projects besides like stuff that there aren't retapping on, it will be announced tonight, which none of y'all will probably get to watch because it's exclusive on Fortnite. It'll be live streamed inside Fortnite, and the only way you can watch it is to watch it inside Fortnite. It's part of.
Are
the
you gonna
$3
watch it?
million
I'm guessing.
Yeah, we're weird. Like me, Lady F, a couple other we have it lined up. They did a big in-game event.
Is it going to be a
today.
Fortnite movie? Like, or
Okay,
else what's
well,
the point in that?
They announced, and I think the location is going to be in Texas, but they are opening another Disneyland / Fortnite theme park, and that's supposed to already have gone up construction supposedly, they've already cleared out a lot, and supposedly it's supposed to be up by 2028. They have big plans. This deal that they did. But this whole next season in Fortnite is specifically like a Disney / Marvel season.
Is Trev gonna take you?
No, Trev doesn't play Fortnite.
I'm shocked that there's enough.
I thought it was-
I understand that Fortnite is huge, but enough faith
I thought it
that
was
they think they
weird
can
that they were-
co-brand a
I thought it was
Disney
weird
brand.
that they're gonna do all their exclusive because they announced a bunch today, which I was pretty happy because I thought it was gonna be minimal, but to have all the new exclusive stuff within Fortnite, I can't. This is supposed to be the stockholder share meeting? That's what D23 is.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be the stuff that they're showing their stockholders, hey, this is what we know is gonna make us some money. So I can't imagine that these stockholders are gonna go into Fortnite to watch all. I don't know.
I bet they're like, son, daughter, how do you play this video game?
Well, that has genuinely got me very intrigued. I've got no interest in watching it, but I want to hear
They
about
will
it.
okay
That's,
for reference. They do the first ever digital like non-person concert was done within Fortnite, and they have
Yeah.
like a unique way of doing that, like where it is live, the performer's there, and you're live because you're playing the game live. But like it's done in like where it's not like a regular map where people can kill you and stuff like that. No, it's a separate like it's done like they've already shown us what the inside of the D23 place will look like, like what inside the game, what it'll look like kind of thing. And it's just like a separate room that can hold like I want to say millions of people within that server or whatever. Because right today there was like 350,000 that was just logged into the regular games. Be interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. I'm with you.
Supposedly we get the first shots of Fantastic Four tonight. We get to see what the Quinjet. We get to see what Doctor Doom's.
Okay, now that's interesting. I hadn't heard any of that. That's coming.
I'm trying to think what else, because there's been a lot of stuff that's leaked, and you never know what's rumor and what's not.
Right, we've been going for a while. So, any other business? Anything else that anybody wants to talk about, or shall we just wrap it up and say, Terry, what you got coming up?
I'm going to be just doing my part 2 of my 1961, and maybe another video. I was hoping that the Catwoman covers that I was going to do was going to be popular sort of thing, but it doesn't seem to be that. So I was going to try a few other different ones as well, do a little bit of mixture. I might still do that anyway, just because I want to. But I definitely carry on with my action of a Superman all the time. People are watching it. When they stop watching it, then I'll think of something else. But that's basically all I'll be doing this week, I think. And probably, I think this coming Wednesday's. Don't get my books till Friday, but on the Wednesday, I think I've got quite a big haul coming. I think there's about 25, 30 books in my subs. I think it might be the following week, but I haven't actually double checked yet. But so there'll be a fair few for my new releases.
Cool. Tony, what are you up to this week?
Well, tomorrow at 3 Eastern, 2 Central, be another episode of End of the Comiverse, and I'll be talking about the anatomy of a superhero. Not necessarily the origin of the heroes themselves, but what drives them to be a hero. I think that'd be pretty cool. Monday, depending on the dependability of the U.S. mail, I may or may not be opening a new figure that I'm getting from Amazon. So we'll wait to see about that. And then after that, next week, my live stuff for the weekend is I've got something that may interfere with my live plan, so I may or may not. So it's to be determined. So that's it.
Cool. Okie dokie. Cliff, what are you up to? You're still muted.
What am I not up to? Tomorrow, 5 p.m., Council of Comics, box office news. We're covering The Hangover 3. Then next week, we'll start our next trilogy. Monday night, New Keys and Hot Comics at 8 p.m. Eastern. Wednesdays, New Comic Book Day, Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. again. And oh my God, I can't remember which skit we're on. Eventually, we're going to have a skit with Joe from Anachronic. I can't remember if it's this week or 2 weeks later. And then next weekend, even though all sorts of horrible things are all happening at the same time in my life, I'm still convinced that I'm going to go to Terrificon and have a terrific time and just try to make the best of it. And so I don't know. So you'll be seeing a very special Comics and Coffee with Cliff from somewhere in the casino. And then that's it. Then we just go right back onto the regular old train of events. And that's it. And you can catch me, all over the place on other people's channels.
Well, I hope very much that your issues are taken care of and you still get to go to Terrificon. That would be tremendous.
Cliff, I want to talk to you backstage. I found out something.
Okie dokie.
Rob, what are you up to this week?
Well, I'll do the normal stuff, but the big thing will be Saturday. I got this fine feathered gentleman coming to join us on Only Slabs at 7:30 p.m. British summertime.
I'm very excited, I have to say.
So,
Thank you.
So there you go. We'll have that, and of course the usual stuff. The Monday mail call, and Thursday CGC has delivered, so we will have the CGC conversion.
Tremendous
video of the books that were, I think it was 6 books that were 3 10.0s and 3 9.9s or something like that, PGX, that I dared to send to CGC to see what happens. So,
there seems to have been like a massive drop off on like those kind of unboxings these days on YouTube, and every time you do it, I get like, Rob's got a whole box of stuff to look at. It's a load of fun. Can't wait for it. Tremendous.
I think Rob's the only one that I can think of that consistently.
Yeah, it's been a long time since anybody's been doing that.
I agree.
Not to downspeak anybody else, but I think Rob,
there's,
Monday mail
I think there's been, I think with everything that's going on, there's been more people not sending books off to CGC or doing smaller, onesie twosies as opposed to sending big batches. Whereas I tend to save them to have at least enough because of the shipping cost. I try to maximize the value there.
I think I saw a video a little while ago, Bronzeville Comics, and he sent an enormous amount. I mean, it's just a crazy amount too. I think it was like 100 or something ridiculous.
Yeah, sometimes there are people who do that, especially people who are either, I've seen somewhere that that person is actually a shop or a facilitator or something, and so when you go through it, they're showing books that aren't really their books, or they're showing books that they shipped off just for the sole purpose. Now they're going to turn around and sell them. As opposed to people who are sending off books from their collection for their collection. And that's where I think the difference lies. This is, my books that I send off, typically those are going off and they're coming back into my collection. There might be a duplicate or two in there. And from those duplicates, I might sell one every once in a while, or half the time it's like, well, I'll just give that one to Comics Curing Cancer.
Tremendous. And we should take that opportunity to say, now's the time if you want to donate books to Comics Curing Cancer, is it not?
Absolutely, yeah. Not because September 23rd is my targeted last day to receive items, so that's really only about 5 or 6 weeks away. And right now, there's no chance in hell we're getting to $50,000 with what we have, unless people are going to be very generous in their bidding on items. So by all means, please, if you have items that maybe you've had them listed for sale for a while and they just haven't sold and you don't want them anyways, maybe you decide, hey, what the hell? I'll take 1 or 2 of these down, give them to Comics Curing Cancer. Or you've got some duplicates, or you got an upgrade, or even just you got items in your collection that you said, hey, you know what? These don't really fit my collection anymore, what I'm trying to do. Consider making a donation. Reach out, Comics Curing Cancer on Instagram or Facebook. We'll get you the shipping information. If you need a donation receipt, we can provide that for you as well. So
Rob, I mean, I've got a lot of mini series I was thinking of, about bundling up and sending, but I don't know whether anybody above a bidding for them. That's the trouble.
Yeah, so when it comes to raw books, it really, if they're key issues, or if they're issues, if they're complete little story runs and they're like significant stories, they'll do okay, or we'll find ways that we can utilize them. But just random books and stuff, sometimes those are really tough, even if I try, unless they have some value to them where I can try to make mystery boxes out of them. But there's some stuff that I got in recently that after going through it, just the condition on it is such that there's not really any value to them. I can't even put them in a mystery box. There's just going to be books that we have to just kind of toss or throw in as bonus books to other people who do spend some, who buy things, because I can't do it because it doesn't bring any money.
So Rob, what are some what are some reasonable things we can try to contribute?
That's what I was gonna ask. Like a signed comic. Like if I get a Jenny Frizen extra, can I donate a Jenny Frizen?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, signed books that, especially if they have, if they have COAs or not. I mean, but especially if they have some sort of COA, is usually
Chris, the
more
comic
helpful.
The Johnny Frizen.
Yeah, but I mean, even so, ones that don't, we can tell, it's a well-known signature type stuff like that, or a recent one. Those are fine. Those work well. Some of the variants and some of the ratios and stuff, those things are fine. I can use them in mystery boxes when we put together some mystery boxes. Key books, slabs. There's art. I mean, mostly at this point in time, we have a lot of art created by from community art, where unless you're like a really, really good really good artist, we really at this point in time when it comes to art are looking more towards some of the more professional side, as opposed to hey, I drew this for you. It's like, yeah, my kid did that too. Captain Hand Turkey for the win. You can only go so far. But some of the other things, like if you have some of you guys are YouTubers, stuff, you have shows, you've talked to you've had contacts or you've had exchanges with certain artists and whatnot. If you reach out to us first, just to make sure that we haven't already reached out to that artist or have somebody reaching out to that artist, we'd love for you to reach out to them and utilize your contact. Sometimes we reach out to them, but Instagram, if you don't have a connection to them, your email gets lost in this pile of a billion other Instagram messages, especially in the request file, right? Because they don't necessarily follow us back. So sometimes things just go to black hole. Just getting somebody who had a connection or whatever to be able to reach out to them and say, hey,
So here's two easy ones. Have you connected with and have anything from John Jang? Have you connected with and have anything from Joe Prado?
So John Jang, we have connections with. As far as Joe Prada, I have not. Okay,
good. So maybe I'll get one thing from him. Also, CBCS is doing live grading at Terrificon, so I will try to get a couple of pretty slabs done over the weekend. But I cannot think of what more to do, and I'm just like,
no.
We do have a $15,000 lead, which is incredibly impressive.
It is helpful. The other thing that I would really love to get done, I mean, look, if you've got something that you're going to donate, take a picture of it, go to the Comic Screen Cancer page, screen grab, or ask me for the file for our C3 challenge thing, and make a post about it and tag 5 people in it. Say, hey, this is what I'm donating. I challenge. So I really would love to get some traction going on that C3 challenge, to help spread the word out that, hey, this is what put some peer pressure on some people. Say, hey, this is what I'm doing. It's worked. We've had some people they've gotten it, they've been tagged, and they've immediately replied. The Nerdy Girl replied when I tagged her. She said, all right, I'm gonna grab something to send you. Skeff's Comic Knowledge was tagged, and he goes, yep, okay, I got some stuff I'm sending off to you. Give me the address. So we get some people who do respond to being tagged and stuff on those things, and it works.
Tremendous.
Thank you.
So yeah, let's try and back it as well as we can within our means is the gist of it. Nobody's throwing shade about what you can donate, but what you can do. Evil Mike, what are you up to?
Sunday, me and Trev on the Sunday Sesh block, come hang out with us. And then next Saturday, we're talking about the last Stephen King live discussion, walk along the beams. And other than that, just me and Trev. That's about it.
Tremendous.
Easy.
I've got to show this.
Yes.
It's got to happen. Let's do it.
Look at that. That is just so good.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Woo!
So huge shout out to Shop for Comics. He's a wonderful artist, and he realized an amazing idea from Mr. Rob Fatstacks.
Yeah, I'm just an idea man. I got no. I can't hit talent. If it was right next to me and I was given a baseball bat.
This is the first time I'm saying this out loud, but I had a gentle conversation with Shop earlier, and he said that it would be fine if I turned this into stickers. So as a verified sticker person, I will be stickering this everywhere I possibly can because it is amazing.
Well, yeah, it would be great as a magnet.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the comic that's backstage, by the way.
Yeah. I was very fortunate. It was the great part about this was when I ordered this, they sent, even though I ordered and paid for one copy, they sent me two. So the other copy is hanging on my fridge out.
Tremendous.
Hi, Chris.
Have you been out for a frame yet?
No, I've been looking, but
fortunately it's 11 by 17, so it's pretty standard. But
it
Chris,
looks just like
Chris,
DVH. Yeah.
How long have you been there? Like, I had no idea you were there.
I don't know. Yeah, like Cliff was talking a little earlier. You guys were talking about.
I'm so sorry.
Comics. No, I haven't been there for about 5 seconds. That's all.
Okay, well then I'm not sorry. No. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
So let's try. We're wrapping things up, but let's do this really quickly. What watched you this week?
What?
What did you watch?
This week.
What did I watch on YouTube or television?
Just anything. What watched you?
Game of Thrones, the House of Dragon finale.
Oh yeah.
I'm watching a Apple television documentary right now about the cartel and horses, and the FBI that's stationed in Laredo, catching on to the fact that the cartel was money laundering through quarter horses back in 2010. It's very fascinating to see different
really
levels of the American government. Yeah. It's on Apple television. Yeah, and I heard avocados is his thing now too. But to watch the FBI gather so many different agencies, including going for with the IRS, and then also getting different levels of what do you guys call your federal lawyers again in the United States? DEAs. Oh, yeah. No, not the DEA.
The lawyers are lawyers.
No, when you get government lawyers involved to take on cases, what's that branch called? I'm literally on a panel full of Americans outside of 2 Brits. Like, come on.
I don't understand what you're talking about. Lawyers are lawyers.
Well, I mean,
lawyers.
DEA, detectives.
Yes, the DA. So right. So
that's a regular DA.
So the federal level DA.
That's a district attorney.
But yeah. Anyways, it's fascinating to see them all come together. I highly recommend this. Highly recommend. And like,
what's it called?
You're gonna have to Google it. Just Google Apple Television. Yeah. But yeah,
it's called The Tower.
But it's incredible to watch how brazen they were. Like the cartel
Attorney General.
The AG, right. But yeah, to watch how brazen they were with their spending and stuff, and like no one really clued in that they were.
It's called Cartel.
Yeah. Is it called Cartel?
Yeah, it's called Cartel. I've just googled it.
Okay.
Oh, Cowboy Cartel.
Cowboy Cartel. Yes. Yeah, it's and I watch Unsolved Mysteries, which I thought this past season was a little bit weaker compared to the other ones. Like to do a Jack the Ripper story, it's just kind of like I think the whole planet is aware of Jack the Ripper and everything. So like it's something that happened over 100 years ago. Like they're not going to get any. They're not going to solve this. Scotland Yard's not going to solve this case at any
They're going to
point
go
soon.
to the graveyard. Got you, sucker.
Yeah, but and obviously Deadpool, Wolverine. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what read you this week?
Oh. Well, I just happen to have them right here. Let's take a look. Deadman might know better than what
Show us
than
what
I do.
you got, Copperhead.
No, I'm gonna have my lawyer contact yours. All right.
That sounds fun to me.
This I thought was really good. I had high hopes for it. I thought it was well done.
Ooh.
The Spectacular Spider-Man. I give it a C. It's
Is that
okay.
an homage to the Wolverine?
It's an homage to Days of Future Past.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Let's see. Yeah, the Spider-Man Reign 2 issue 2. It's okay. X-Men I didn't like. Daredevil I like. I just don't like John Romita Jr.'s covers. Hello, Dead Man. The Incredible Hulk was good. I think my biggest letdown of the week was actually surprisingly this. I didn't find any of the stories all that good compared with the one last week.
Oh,
and
that's a
even
shame.
that one.
I got that one, Chris.
None
That's
of
the
them
cover
are
I got.
Yeah. I'm curious if Rob liked it, but I know Rob enjoys the pulp stories a little bit more than what I do. Rob, did you get through this one?
No, I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
I kind of put it. I know I said I read everything I got this week, but I forgot about that. I put it on my EC stack, which is mostly actually real EC, which takes much more time consumption to read usually.
Yeah, bigger.
Understood. I have yet to get through. I haven't. This is probably the last book I need to read. But the Red Before Black from Stephanie Phillips. Has anyone been through this yet?
How's that?
I mean, I know it exists, but
Red Before Black. It's Boom Studios offering. Like, ignore that Erica Slaughter's on this cover. They just, I guess, just decided to try and sell a few variants with her on it. But yeah, it's a Stephanie Phillips offering. I haven't been through it yet. I did get an ash can for The Exorcism at 1600 pen. I thought this was excellent. It's maybe 14 or 16 pages, and the full size first issue comes out in October, I believe.
I'm glad because I heard about that on the other day. When they released the ash can, and the idea of it just sounds awesome. So,
but yeah, it's
let's go.
It's just a brief introduction to the president and her family, and the fact that Satan is hanging out kind of in the back of everything.
Is that Mad Comics?
It's a IDW. IDW. Yep. And that was my surprise read of the week is how good The Exorcism at 1600 pen is. I recommend it when it comes out, or if you can get your hand on the ash can as well. It's pretty good. There's nothing sinister yet, other than the fact you can tell something's lurking in the background, and it's a question of which one of the president's family, if not the president herself, that gets attacked and then possessed. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, they're preempting November then. There's a she.
I can. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you guys. Let me just tell you guys the release date itself. There, October 16th is when it's coming out, and
2 days before my birthday.
Yep. And this Wednesday, DC versus Vampires Volume 2 World War V drops, and that's all I'm going to be talking about on my channel.
I forgot what an unhinged fan you are of that.
I mean,
and it turned out
good to be
turned
fair,
out better
Chris.
to be Blood Hunt in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not great, but it is good.
Easy now.
Sorry.
I said what I said.
I don't care. The first arc, I think, is some of the best
really
storytelling
did
in the last 5 years.
And I only read it,
like
about a month ago. The whole thing. So, yeah, I agree. I want to see where it goes.
The God part of it. The God part was fun.
Right, Vogger, what are you up to in the next couple of days?
Man, first off, I want to thank you again for having me, man. I really do appreciate you. You welcomed me to an awesome show. I love this show. It was my first time being on, and man, it went by so fast, but yet it was so much fun hanging out with you guys. Hope to do it again in the future. Hopefully my Saturday work schedules can be nicer. Not next Saturday. Next Saturday after work all day. What do I have coming up? I started a new series. It's weird. It's kind of corny. My last name is Vogel, but I go by Boggs. I could go by either, or I don't care either way. I started a thing called Boggs Vlogs. They're like 20-second snippet videos of where I am or what I'm doing. Like yesterday, I did one at a comic shop I've never been to. And I just started saying Boggs Vlogs, blah, blah, blah. And I do like a little pinned comment in the comment section saying, what do I think? Like, I've done 3 comic shops, and I have a comic shop I'm going to do. And it's just me at the entrance showing their sign. But, yeah, let's see what else. I have shorts. I have comics. I have mail days I need to post for comics, which is like The Doctor and some other LCS pickups. And then I have like older videos that I haven't posted yet. But yeah, mix of comic stuff and yeah.
Tremendous. Well, thank you for coming on as well. I mean,
Thank
it's
you
always
again.
cool.
It was a blast.
Tremendous. Chris, what have you got coming up on your channel, sir?
First of all, I want to give shout out to Mrs. Von Hoot, who takes the time to make sure that her husband looks great for the Parliament of Mowls. Shout out to her for taking the time to make him look good.
All right, behind the scenes on this, she went to London at, I want to say, 2:00. So I've been like this all day because she was out.
Oh my god.
Well, for the to I guess acknowledge the show that I'm on from the land of the snowy owl. Monday I'll be dropping a new retailer pack opening video where I open 4 packs from Walmart, 2 Marvel, 2 DC. And just keep your eyes peeled in the next little bit, probably the next 72 hours for my 2,000 subscriber giveaway announcement video. And then at some point in the near future, I'll be doing a live stream for that. And then Saturday coming, little show some of you may have heard of, Only Slabs, Rob's Fat Stacks of Old Comics and myself. We'll be going live with everyone's favorite Mowl.
It's true. It's damn.
It's true. It's I understood that reference. Thank you, DVH.
No problem. It's a pleasure to see you, sir. Always welcome. So for myself, I have a video coming on Monday, which will be an unboxing. I haven't edited it yet, but it will happen. Friday, there is a Wrestle Crate unboxing. I think I'm going to put those on Fridays just so that I keep all the comic content on the same times, basically. So that's the plan. So, and then we'll be back same time next week.
Same owl time.
Yes, same
Not
owl
same
time.
bad time. It's same owl time, guys.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, so any objections to ending Parliament this evening, gentlemen?
No objections.
All those in favour say aye.
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 Thank you very much, and that's the end of the show. Where's the clip?
And I don't really know. Well, I suppose, no. Really what happened was